Hello, friends. How are you? I missed you last week. I did have a good time, though, except the drive on Friday afternoon to Seattle. May I say that a 2 hour, maybe 2 hour and 15-minute drive took over 4 hours. As I was driving south, there was a multi-car pileup, and it had happened not too long before because they were still setting up fire trucks to block 2 lanes. So 2 lanes, 3 lanes funneled into 1 lane, and that took a bit of time to get through. And then just a little further on, there was another multi-car pileup, but it had happened earlier. So I'm wondering if the first one we ran into had actually happened as a result of that first one, because they weren't all that far apart. Anyway, I just drove after that, and it wasn't too bad. Heavy traffic. Let's see, I got off on the freeway at the wrong spot, so I had to go back and go up further and, get off and get back on the freeway. Oops. Anyway, it was tiring. It was a long drive. I think next assembly day we're going to leave a little earlier on Friday. 2 o'clock was just too late. But then we got settled in our hotel and we went to dinner at Applebee's, and they had the Mariners game on, and we watched the 15-inning game. We watched some of it at the restaurant, and then we went back to the hotel room and we watched till the end. I actually thought it was going to be the longest game on history, perhaps even never ending, until everybody fell down exhausted. So I was really glad when it was over. And I'm also glad the Mariners won. Oh, hi, Hillary. Nice to see you. It's good to have you here. I'm just going on and on about my trip last weekend and car pileups and all of that kind of stuff. The drive from Bellingham to Kent was 4+ hours. Anyway, there were 2 accidents. So it's good to be here. Let's see. I think maybe everybody is interested in what I have on my desk here. It's the kits from 2 weeks ago. I'm glad they were all made before I left, because prepping the kits and for today was a ton. Oh, you watched every inning? Yep. I watched some of... I am not a big baseball fan. I will admit it. We were having dinner. Our table was right next to friends that my friend Debbie knew. And so we were chatting with them and they were watching. So we watched. So here we are. We have on my desk. Isn't that cool? We have got kits from last week. So Gladys is getting a kit. Luann is getting a kit. Cindy Grattan and Cindy Walker are getting kits. And I will get those out tomorrow. I don't think I'm going anywhere today. As a matter of fact, what am I doing this afternoon? I have a plan. Oh, I'm cooking. I found a brand new recipe. Thanks to my little AI friend. It's low carb. It is a lasagna, but it's made with zucchini slices instead of lasagna noodles. So I've got a meat sauce all made, thanks to family dinner a couple nights ago. And I've got the cheeses ready to put on. And I've got the zucchini, but I still have to slice it. So I am going to do that this afternoon. Get that all ready and hoping it's good. I'll also fix a little Caesar salad. Quick reminder, we are in a promotion. I did a this or that page. There's 2 options to choose from. It is probably the best promotion I can think of, because for $35 instead of $99, you get $125 worth of product. If you wanted more product, you could pay the $99 and get $189. It's entirely up to the person, whatever works best for you. So I think it's a really great special. So If someone is watching that isn't on a team or doesn't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator they work with, I would love to join you to my team, Nutsy's Stampers. Let's see. Shall we go back to... Okay, this is the way we're going to do this. And I'm going to make my picture a little smaller and put it over in the right-hand corner. And put it up. There we are. We are ready to get started. I will tell you, I have been cutting. So we're going to do a staggered Z-fold card. And we're going to use the Inspiring Imperfections suite. When I first made this card, I realized that the measurements didn't work. They were just a little bit longer. This is the Gather Together suite with that gorgeous earthen tone specialty paper. It's a foil. It's in foils. It really is a foil. And it is so pretty. I really like it. So, because it didn't fit, I just kind of trimmed off the top and bottom to make it fit. But then I did some math. I tell you, math is hard. You might have noticed in the description where I've got the measurements that math is hard. And I used 16ths to make this all fit and work together. But this is the one with Inspiring Imperfections. And when I made this card and did the measurements, it fit perfectly. I figure if there's a problem, I can adjust it a little bit. Maybe. I've got my trimmer right beside me. But isn't that pretty with the gold foil? And that is the embossing folder that goes with it. It's this one. It is called Join Together 3D Embossing Folder. But it's so pretty done in gold. I haven't tried it on a regular color of cardstock. I am sure it's just as beautiful, but I really like it in gold. Let's move the Gathering Together over. Bring out my envelope. This is Inspiring Imperfections. It is, I really haven't played with these, but if you'd want to stamp a vase, let's see, and then emboss over the top of it and use gold embossing powder, that would make it look really cool. So this one would go in here, this one there, or you could use a combination. It's got little flower corners, which I think are cute. I did not use them on this card, but I've used them on other cards. And the Designer Series paper is gorgeous. Sorry, everything is just kind of stuck. Let me fix that. And when we're done, let's talk about the new packaging and some ideas I've got to make it maybe easier to use. One of the ideas was mine. The other idea came from a demonstrator whose name I have now forgotten, and I apologize for that. So we have our envelope. I don't think I did. I cut a piece of Designer Series paper, and this is really cool because this one, it's got the gold accents, so it's a specialty paper. You can see it there. And it's not non-directional, which I thought was a good thing. I cut a vase also from Designer Series paper. There's a whole sheet of vases, or vases, however one wants to say it. I've got a 2 by 5 1/4 inch piece of gold foil, which I did emboss. A 4 by 5 1/4 piece of white. Really, to conserve, you could cut this at 2 inches and then just butt the two pieces together. But I thought I would do it the easy way. Then I have the Staggered. Let's see. I tried to keep them together. The Staggered DSP. This one goes here. And this is how I'm going to do it, although I think I'm going to go bottom up this time, just to do it different. And this one and this one. Now, what makes this work is the top and the bottom, instead of cut at 1 1/8, it's cut at 15/16. Oh, let me look again. The Misty Moonlight card base, yes, it's cut at 1 1/16. And then these are cut at 1 1/8. When it came up to the Designer Series paper, they're 15/16 height and varying lengths. So I was able to use a lot of scraps up. Oh, and we're going to pull in this baker's twine. Comes, I think, in the Modern Christmas Suite. It is black, white, and gold baker's twine. So I thought that would be nice on the card. Pull in that gold. I did not use Wink of Stella because it's a blingy card, any way you look at it, and I didn't put the flower accents on it because I didn't want to take away from all the bling that's here. But you could certainly use those if you wanted to. Hi, Cindy. Happy Friday to you, too. So I haven't even asked, what are you drinking? I have got a white peach tea. I think it's by Stash, maybe, brand. Anyway, it is really tasty. Then my card base is 8.5 by 4 1/4. No, 5.5. 8.5 by 5.5. I scored it at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. So it's just in half. And this makes our Z fold. So shall we get started? It does have a lot of gold. It is a blingy card. Now in the kits, because I don't know what sentiment you're going to use. Oh, Diet Coke sounds good too. I keep threatening to buy Diet Coke and keep it on hand because I do like it. This is 1.5 by 1. It's a little 1/4 inch smaller. And instead of putting this little tiny piece in with the kits that I made to give away next week, ooh, ice water with mango and strawberry flavoring. Yum. That sounds really good. What do you use for the flavoring, Cindy? Is it a brand of squirt-in flavor or? Because that would be interesting. Anyway, yours pieces are bigger because I don't know what size sentiment you're going to use. And you can use this. This is just a great fold. Works for any Designer Series paper you like, especially ones where it's non-directional and you have a lot of it sitting around. A lot of little scraps. Great way to use up scraps. Totally forgot an inside sentiment. I didn't put an inside sentiment in this one. Oh, I did too, though. I put in an extra little piece here. That must be 2 inches by 5 1/4. I'll have to cut one because I like that look. I put it in there too. This is why, oh, Crystal Light. I like Crystal Light. This is why, though, I don't seal up the kit envelopes because I find I forget things and that's so easy to add it if you haven't actually sealed the envelope yet. So that's what we will do. Let's see, what size is this? It's a little wide. I'm going to cut it really quick to 5 1/4 inches. And then I will cut it down to 2 inches. It's just a little less, oh, it's about 2 1/4 right now. We need to take that 1/4 inch off. And I've got plenty of this paper left, so I will cut for you also. I'm going to set that aside. And let's get started. Because a lot of this is kind of repetitive. Here is my smaller my narrower piece. And so I'm just going to, look what I did. So last week, someone asked, or 2 weeks ago, someone asked me why I don't use my glue press. Okay, it might even have been 4 weeks ago. And I thought it's because I was too lazy to fill up my bottle to transfer my Tombow ink over. That was not the case. I had not pushed this down all the way and it made a gluey mess all over everything. Because the point did not touch the red rubber that's here. And that was my fault. And I had forgotten that. So yesterday I was cleaning up. Ooh, you know why I was cleaning up? I really should show you before we get started what I've got. Let's see if I put... No, I'll do it afterwards. I'll show you afterwards. Let's get started with the gluing. And I did use glue, especially on these smaller pieces, because they were so narrow, I felt like I needed to be able to move them around. Once you get started, it's not bad. It's just getting started. So the first one was, let's see, 4, and the mat was, let's see, 4.25 inches by 11/16. No, 1 1/16. I had a terrible time reading those directions and cut things wrong the first time. I know that's going to surprise you. I do that every once in a while. And because this is not directional, if you find that there's a direction you like better, like to me that looks like it's upside down. It's not, because it's not directional paper, but I am going to turn it this way because I want my stems to go up. I'll do that one and this one. There's 3 of them. And these middle ones are all 1 1/8 inch deep, and it's only the 2 ends that are 1 1/16 inch. Okay, I've covered up the card. I've gone off of the area. My goodness. You know what I did is I made some snarky iced tea, and then I made some Crystal Light lemonade, and I did half and half for an Arnold Palmer. It was quite tasty. I did that the other day. Okay, there we go. And now what I want to do is I want to start at the bottom, and I'm going to build it up. It's going to be like a layer cake. And actually, you want to be careful. So this is what I did, because I put it on, and I held it down, and then I put my glue on, because I don't want to make a gluey mess anywhere. I mean, you know I'm going to do that anyway on my fingers, so making sure that lines up both on the side right here and on the bottom. So there's one. The next one will go here. And let's just put a little bit of, put a little too much right there, glue. And there we are. all ready to go. I just think it's really important to know exactly how far you want to glue. So I like turning things upside down and putting them on. There's 3. Here's 4. Let's just put 5 on just to make sure I've got it. It is perfect. That was hard work, by the way, doing all that math to figure out exactly what I wanted to make my 5 pieces fit. Okay, there we are. And we'll do the last one. I think I'm going to pull it down here though so I can see the edge. This one gets, not much hangs over on this one. Okay. Yes, I am butting them up right next to each other. Oh, spacing evenly would be hard. And they'd have to be even smaller than what they are in order to, if you wanted to space them. Okay. And I just cut, see, the nice thing is it folds flat. I just cut this piece for here. So let's put that on. It's not a hard card to make. It's a hard card to cut. And as long as we've got it open, let's go ahead and, there's my Seal Plus. Put our white on. And then we can put our gold over it. It's always good to use gold, to use the glue on an embossed piece. And you can decide which way you like it best. Because again, it's not directional. And this should just fit right over it. So that's what I was saying. You really could cut this in half and not have the and butt them up against each other. That would conserve some paper. And basically that's our card. Just a little decorating now. I'm not putting a sentiment inside, but if you did, you would want to put it so that it's covered up by your longer layers here. And then it doesn't distract. So there we are. Isn't that fun? And so simple once everything is cut. Maybe I did have one cut. Because I did follow the directions I wrote out. Now here's the cool thing is I wrote this out as a tutorial, basically just a menu that you could take and recreate the card. No directions, just what I used. Thank you. Okay, back to, now the one thing that did take just a moment is I wanted to use one of the sentiments from inside, from this suite, from Inspiring Imperfections, but I didn't want to cover up the designer series paper. That was important to me. I know, Cindy, it was really fast. The good news is I don't have another project to actually do with you, but I have a project card I just made the other night to show you, and then how I did the new packaging. Okay, putting that aside. This is blue. I want you to know blue is hard, but I'm still going to do it. So, Misty Moonlight, since that's the color of our card base, I thought that would be a good one. And I am just down here on the end, tapping carefully. And then I'm going to look and make sure that the other letters didn't get anything on them. And it just fits so nicely on this little tiny piece of basic white. There we are. Thanks. The whole sentiment says, thanks for helping me through the difficult time, this difficult time, which is a great sentiment, but not always needed. Oh, thank you, Cindy. I like to figure things out. I also like to watch other people who have tips, and sometimes I remember them. Okay, not always. A little Seal Plus, we'll put this on. And I'm going to set this aside for just a moment. I've already tied my bow because I was trying to figure out about how much yarn to put in, or the baker's twine. So I'm going to be cutting some off because I got a little carried away. I love when we can cut out the focal point from the designer series paper. It makes me very happy. And so I've cut out the blues, so those are in the kit. And I want my dimensionals. Ah, there they are. Look at that. So dimensionals on our focal piece. And that goes down first. Let's see. Four seemed like a good number. Now, if you wanted to put the suite I'm going to show you in a minute, or the card. This is in Petals of Beauty, and it is it's a really pretty open leaf pattern, and that might look pretty coming out of the top of this. But I didn't have it then when I made the card. I suppose. Okay, since we're moving along so fast, let me go cut one. Don't think I've got one. No, I didn't cut an extra. Oh my goodness. I will be right back. It won't be long at all. Let's see. Oh, I know why I didn't cut it, because I cut the first one wrong. Should have cut it over to the side so I had more room to cut too. Okay, here we are. We have our open, and I did notice that these didn't pop out on their own, but they come out easily. And I'll take this out. Gonna move that. Where did I put my vase? I don't know where I put my vase. It's got to be hooked on something, on the back of something, because I had my dimensionals on it. So what did I sit down on top of this? There's my dimensionals. I do not see it. Do you remember a few weeks ago I lost an acorn? I was doing with the Amber Autumn maybe suite or stamps, and I lost an acorn. I found that acorn. It was crazy. Well, I have no idea where my vase is. I don't see it on the floor. I don't think I'm wearing it. Let's see. So I'm going to get into one of the kits and pull out a vase. I will cut another one. So here's our little kit. There should be a vase in here. Oh, there's my vase. Look, I stopped looking for it, gave up, and it showed up. So, what do we think? I can see I need to cut a little of these off the side or bend them in. There we are. I'm going to have to put drops of glue on it. But what do you think with that on? I'll bring it up closer. I think I like it, especially with the plain vase. So I think we're going to go with that. Just do something a little different. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here because I do want it to stick on the card. It was a sneaky little vase. Sometimes I amaze myself how quickly and easily I can lose things. This still has room to sit on here. So I'm going to put seal on the part that's going on the vase. And I'm going to put dimensionals, a dimensional, on the other end. Because I like them to be level. There we are. And the last thing to put on is my little double bow. And I have a glue dot for that. Actually, I think I'm going to pull it off with my Take Your Pick tool so that I have something holding it. I'm good with the Take Your Pick tool. I am awful with tweezers. And I'm just going to put this right here. Make sure this is pulled tight. That should be fine. And I am going to trim off my ends a bit. I have noticed with the this particular baker's twine, I have noticed that the ends are a little unruly. They go their own way. So there is our card. Pretty. I've got everything ready for the envelope. And then I'll show you what I did with my new packaging. And it didn't take a real long time, which is a good thing. So let's grab, I like that little open leaf on it. I am going to like this new set. It didn't get very close to the edge. There, that's better. I glued my gluey finger, so I got a little bit of glue there. But it's not on my finger anymore, so that's a plus. Do that little back fold. A bit of a little back rub there. And a little trim. If you didn't want all the shiny gold, you could always use the back side. The other side of these Kintsugi Inspirations is pretty. I've actually done several cards with it. Have you used it? Have you enjoyed this? It was on my list right away to buy, and I didn't get it, and then it was out of stock. I think it was because of the designer series paper, but it could have been the dies. So for me, this is, even though it's in the annual catalog and it's been available for a while, it's a recent purchase, so I'm having fun with it. Okay, here we go. Our card is done, and I do have an envelope and a flap designer series paper for you. So there's our card. It's the one I made before. I do believe that foliage, I like the open, that it's so open. I think that looks good with it. But I also really like the Gather Together one. No Wink of Stella, no gems, crazy, but true. Okay, now let me show you the new packaging. Let me get one I haven't done yet. That would be even better. I haven't finished fixing this one the way I want to, but I did take, so this is my idea. I checked and made sure it both fits, the dies and the stamps. So the stamps have the name of the bundle, or the stamp set, and dies. So this is Pop-Up Petals. And I just put them in on their thing, their plastics. And I put, because I don't like the glue on the way the dies come. It's too hard, and I think our dies are a little thinner, and you need to be more gentle with them pulling them off. And I really find that pulling it off bothers me. I worry about bending the dies. I just don't care for it. So I use the magnet sheets. Now, as I understand it, Stampin' Storage is now making tall magnet sheets. And I might get some, because not all of them will fit on one sheet, and I don't think I can get 2 of these in this one clear package. I like the way it closes. It just slips in. You just have to make sure you've got it set up, but it just slips in easily. So the dies are the way they're going to go. I put them in the back because I want to see the stamps when I take it out. So that's going here. But what you can do with the stamps is turn them over, use some tear and tape, let's see, yes, tear and tape the hard plastic, and I want to make sure they're going to stay in place. because that is the back flat part of the stamp, and so that goes on the hard plastic. And then take this off. Turn it over and put it down. Give it a little rub to make sure it's adhered. Pull off the softer plastic that goes on the top of the stamps. Grab your ink and ink them up. They don't have to be absolutely perfect. Just close to perfect. Then carefully fold this over. So that's the front. Just going to fold it over, line it up, rub the ink on, and look. You have all your stamps here. You know exactly which stamp goes where. If it's blue ink, you should probably close it up right away. And then I can clean those off with my chamois. It makes a little bit of a mess, but the mess cleans up fairly well. I'm not worried at all about that because it's doing what I want. It's cleaning my stamp. And it also gives you just a moment of dry time because, as you know, this is kind of shiny, so it's more of a glossy paper. Okay, so put wherever you put that little sheet of paper, I swear, I lose these. They're so hard for me to find. Put it back on, because if you close this now, besides getting ink on your stamp, again, it would stick to the paper, even though that's a glossy paper. Okay, back with the tear and tape. Adhere that down. There we go. Burnish that on with my nails. A little hard to burnish on because it's bumpy. And then you're going to do that same thing. You're going to take the part you stamped on, which is the front of this, and fold it over and put it on. And kind of adhere that. And then when you take it off, hold the paper, hold that plastic, and peel it back. This is covered and safe. The stamps are open and ready to use. What do you think about that? It wasn't that hard. You don't have to be perfect. It can be a little bit messy. And then they can go right in here. Now I haven't decided exactly where I'm going to put what I'm going to put these in. But what do you think of that? And then you have one extra, the extra plastic holder is put away. But I am really liking this. So the one I did and that I used is the Words of Beauty. And let's see if I can get this back together. because I have things, sometimes I have extra things cut out and I like them together. I just put them in one of our plastic envelopes, fits right between them. And it goes right in. So I think, and these I used on this card. Anyway, I thought that turned out well. And it's going to be so nice to be keeping it all together. Now, if you have a couple more minutes, I am going to put me back right here. And I'm going to turn because I have something brand new. Let's see if that'll go all the way over. I got my IKEA unit. And my granddaughter and her boyfriend came over. It is easier to browse because if you put them in, I don't think they'll fit in this, but this is what I use for my projects. I mean, if they fit in like this, and these don't quite, you can look at it one way and then you can turn it around and look at it the other way and you've got your dies right there. I still will keep my single dies together, like my stylish shapes and nested essentials. Anyway, isn't that fun? I've got some Stampin' Storage. Is it right in here? I've got some paper. I've got a paper sorter for 12 by 12. And I've got 2 of the IKEA stamp pad holders to go in. So I think it's all going to be good. I really like it. And it looks so much better than my coffee. Let's see. It's a couch table. It goes behind a couch with what is that? That little coffee table under it and stacked with stuff. Much easier. And I can get to my blankets if I'm cold because they're in my coffee table. And I put it under the clock in the entrance by the front door. So I am very happy with my setup now. I think, except for maybe, little add-ins for storage, I think I've got it together now. Much more organized, much neater. And I have a few things that I want to bring in from the other room, the laundry room, where some things are still living because, well, just because they didn't make it in here. So I think that is it for me. I think we've done our card. I've got tips. I am going to like these. I didn't know that I would, but I am going to like these now. And on that note, I think I am going to say goodbye because I am going to go cook. No, I'm going to clean up first because if I cook first, I won't want to come in and clean up. So I'll clean up and then I'll go cook my zucchini lasagna. That sounds good. Anyway, have a great weekend. I hope you all doing well. You're enjoying the weather. Right now, we've got a lovely, beautiful fall day. I just saw a golden retriever walk up the street. Totally distracted me from what I'm doing. It does feel good to have my stuff organized. I am thrilled with it. I think that way. Sometimes I think what's the most organized, the quickest and easiest way to do something? So I have found myself when I'm doing laundry, instead of folding and carrying everything all around the house, doing a little planned disorganization. And I deliver things one thing at a time so I get more steps in that way. I am sneaky. Anyway, until next week,